Is leading the bulletin this hour. Gauteng police will be keeping a close watch on land invasion hotspots in and around Johannesburg tonight. This follows attempted invasions of vacant land in Waterfall, Midrand, Marlborough near Alexandra Township north of Johannesburg since last night.
Members of the Public Order Policing Unit and Johannesburg Metro Police had their hands full on Saturday as groups descended on the affluent suburb of Waterfall in Midrand and Marlborough north of Johannesburg, planning to erect shacks. The situation in Alexandra is just no longer inhabitable. They talk about a lack of service delivery and multiple people living on single pieces of land. They're saying that the overpopulation is a problem, and of course with these pieces of land available, they feel that it's time that they took the fate into their own hands.
We are here for land. We want land because we don't have accommodation in Alexandra. Unless we get land, we are not going to vote. We want this land here in Waterfall.
Alexandra.
We're looking for space. We don't have a space. I'm an old man now. I'm staying with my grandson and my granddaughters in one room, and it's leaking. I got a C form for 96 and year 2000. Until today, I didn't get a house. My father was born in Alexandra, and me, I was born in Alexandra. I'll die in Alexandra. Now, I'm not moving now this time here. Thank you.
It is believed at least 6 people were arrested after a fence around one of the properties was damaged. The incidents of illegal land occupation come amidst debates over the expropriation of land without compensation.
Land occupation has started last night, in the early evening of last night. So about 60 shacks were erected last night, and then this morning about 300 to 400 shacks were erected. But you'll need an aerial view, to see those shacks, because that land it's very huge. It is very huge, and it will be enough for all people of Greater Alexandra.
The emotive land issue is expected to continue to spark debate as the country prepares for the public hearings on the amendment of the Constitution. Jermaine Krige, SABC News, Midrand.
Well, joining us now in studio on a rather emotive subject is the Gauteng MEC for Human Settlements, Uhuru Moiloa. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. As one of those people was saying in the soundbites that I was born in Alexandra, will not leave Alexandra, and all they want is that they want land. What's your first reaction to this?
Well, Section 20 of our Constitution, the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, gives the right of South Africans to live where they want. So that is a basic right of every citizen. Whether you are born in the Eastern Cape, you are born in Alexandra, you are born in Kagiso, Mamelodi, wherever, you are free to move to any place where you feel comfortable to move to. But it must be within the confines of the law. Proper, organized, coordinated human settlement programs, which my department, our government, is seriously committed to achieving within the circumstances. So there's no excuse that if you're looking for a place to stay, necessarily, therefore, it must equally you breaking the law.
Does this at all point to frustration that government has not been able to deliver this land wherever people want to live, whether it be closer to the workplaces or whatever?
You cannot let people occupy the land that has got no services. Because you can move people into the land they occupy it. I'm sure if government was responsible, it will just say to people, go to the land, occupy it. But this is government. People need access to, to facilities, amenities, right? If we say to people must move to the land without services, exactly what I'm saying. There's no water there. There are no toilets there. There's no clinic there. There are no roads. So you are basically putting people into a very life-risky
Then what's your response then to people who are already doing that, who are already moving into these lands and invading these lands and grabbing these lands?
We're calling on our people to join partnership with my department, Department of Human Settlement and Gauteng. We are asking our people and we are requesting them, humbly so, to join partnership with our government to work together to ensure that every citizen who has made Gauteng his home can finally find a comfortable home and house for his children.
One of the biggest issues, I guess, that the province of Gauteng is facing is the issue around urbanization and this mushrooming up of informal settlements. So I was looking at a Stats SA statistics, and it indicates that most of the informal settlements are actually found in this province. What's your department doing to try and eradicate those?
Massive in-migration of citizens. As I say, South Africans have got the right to decide to live where they want to live. So the majority of the people, as it is everywhere else in the world, people are moving from rural areas to urban centers because they want access to economy, they want access to better education. Gauteng possesses more universities than any region in the country. So the young people are coming here to study, right? They are looking for job opportunities. It's natural. People are moving from rural areas to urban areas. What does this mean? It means that we must think out of the box because Gauteng is rapidly urbanizing. The population has increased from 8 million people in 1994 to 14.5 million people in 2018. You can see we need to plan for population growth, and this is exactly what our premier is saying, the establishment of mega human settlement. You're not talking 2,000, 3,000. We're talking 30,000 houses at a go. And this is the program that we are presently embarking on as a province.
And this, of course, would need money. But just on the issue around these land invasions, and just looking at some of the visuals, it's not really an issue about black and white, but it's more an issue, a battle between the haves and the have-nots, where you have people who have land, who have vast spaces of land, who some believe they are not sharing this piece of land.
No, absolutely. But absolutely. I mean, there is absolutely no question that there's land hunger for human settlement, for building the industries, because it's not just about housing. You've got to build houses, but you've got to think about where people are going to work. So you need an integrated human settlement program. And this is exactly what we are doing. In the south, we're putting up a huge city there. It's called Savannah City. In Ekurhuleni, we're putting a massive city, 30,000 human settlement dwellings with commercial centers, plus a potential erection of a university there, 30,000. This is massive investment that the provincial government is doing. We need our people to work with the provincial government on the plans that we are having. Maybe we are not communicating effectively enough. And this is the message that I want to drive to the people of Gauteng, including those that have just arrived in the province, including the old man who is born and has lived in Alexandra for the rest of his life and doesn't have a house. This is the person that I want to talk to. I want to talk to the people of Alexandra to say that you possess land in the middle of opulent Sandton. You actually have assets, right? But you need to turn this asset called Alexandra into capital, into something that can become of value to yourself.
But it's too populated to even get to that. But just quickly, and actually speaking about Alexandra, the flooding that has affected the province. Just quickly, you've gone out to east of Pretoria today. Just quickly tell us what your assessment has been and what happens now.
I'll come to the floods. Sandton is growing, right? The Sandton development is occupying the space. We need to do the same in Alexandra. We need to begin to think out of the box. Put up 15, 20-story buildings so that people can live next to the economic activities. And this is the paradigm shift that I'm talking about. The issues of floods mainly affect people that have moved illegally into areas that they're supposed not to be occupying. I'm from Mamelodi this morning. I've been in Extension 11. I've been in Extension 21, 25. People have literally moved inside the river, right? And I have humbly asked those people to get out of that place because it is a disaster in waiting. And there are criminals that are driving people. They are selling pieces of land. They tell them, give me 300 rand, I'll get you a place to stay.
And what's your department doing about that?
Obviously, we've made a court application, because the Constitution says we cannot arbitrarily move people out of where they are. All what I can do is to appeal to them to move out of the river. But we've made a court application.
So there's a court application as it stands right now to
get the people so that we can evict those people out of the place that is very dangerous for them. Now, this is a serious situation that we find ourselves in within the confinement of the Constitution and the laws that governs our country.
MEC Moiloa, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much
It's
for
been a
making time for
pleasure,
us.
man. But we
I
ask
know
you
that
of
it's a very emotive issue, and there's a lot of issues to discuss with regards to this. We've come to the end of this particular interview, but let's just quickly go to an ad break, and when we come back, we discuss the issue of Moody's. Moody's has issued a stable outlook for the country. We speak to the Deputy Minister of Treasury.